Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Lennox Kabaya. I've just moved to a new house, a new place. I'll do house tour in my other YouTube channel. It's called The Vlogging Diaries. I'll put the name here, right here, The Vlogging Diaries. Make sure you guys go check it out, the channel. I'll put the new house tour in that YouTube channel. So in today's video, we're going to be covering about the sudden death of Kenyan actor, writer, director, singer, television host, and actually voiceover artist Charles Ouda. So without further ado, let's get it. So, Charles Ouda actually passed away on February 3rd, 2023, and it's a sudden loss for the Oudas and the woman who he had recently gotten engaged to, who was known as Shiro Morioki. Now, Shiro Morioki was actually a former BBC host or journalist. Can you imagine? Shiro Morioki was working for the BBC. How crazy is that? So Shiro Morioki and Charles Ouda had just gotten engaged, I think 6 months ago. Yeah, and it was working very well. Now Charles Ouda was very active on social media, considering the fact that he was an actor, but also he was very active on topics of ending femicide in Kenya. He was on the front row seat to people who are actually suggesting femicide should be ended. When you check about the femicide trending topics and femicide things that were happening in Kenya, Charles Ouda was at the front row of stopping femicide, because even the posts that he was posting, because his recent videos are videos where he was actually posting videos encouraging people to stop femicide or to end femicide in Kenya, because actually recently in Kenya there have been so many cases of girls being killed, that is known as femicide, or girls or women being killed. So Charles Ouda was an advocate for stopping femicide, which according to him was a really nice thing. And I think, yeah, people should actually end femicide, because now actually a person standing up against millions of people and advocating femicide to be ended, it's a very brave move, if you ask me. So Charles Ouda was a very brave man. Apart from him being an actor, he was also a very brave man. It takes a lot of bravery to stand up against millions of people and showcase your opinion. Yeah, that is very brave man. Very brave. I'd give him that. That's a very brave man. So I mean, it will take a lot of energy to stand out against people who do wrong, don't you think? So I think Charles Ouda will actually always remain in people's heart as a hero or a legend, because that is one of, that man was one of a kind. Don't you guys think that? So now obviously the cause of his death has not been disclosed, as his family has made it very clear actually that more details will be made in due course. So don't believe anything you hear on the internet. Right now, the cause of Charles Ouda's death has not been released, and the family has asked very nicely not to be bothered, not to be disturbed. The people who are affected, the Oudas and Shiro Morioki, should be left alone during this grieving time. Recently, Shiro Morioki and Charles Ouda had come up with a podcast which was known as The Undiscovered Podcast. So right now, if you go on YouTube and look for The Undiscovered Podcast, you're going to find out that podcast, which I think right now in the making of this video, the podcast has 1,300 YouTube subscribers. The name of the channel was The Undiscovered Podcast, where they would actually meet and exchange their ideas. I don't know why they chose that name, The Undiscovered Podcast, but it was a nice podcast. People had actually started showing some love on their podcast. At the time of making this video, Charles Ouda had 17.7 thousand Instagram followers, and his last pictures being these pictures you see here right on the screen. So basically, Charles Ouda was known for acting these projects, e.g. Makutano Junction, Salem, you guys know Salem, The First Grader, County Town, and No Zone. You guys remember No Zone? No Zone was hot, bro. No Zone was lit. I used to love No Zone. Actually, No Zone is a kids television show, which is a nice show. No Zone. So Charles Ouda was part of it, part of No Zone. It was a nice show. I used to love No Zone, man. So we loved Charles Ouda, but God loved you more. Those are some of the shows that Charles Ouda has participated in, but there are actually so many projects which I've not mentioned. Yeah, so let me know what you guys think about Charles Ouda. Don't forget to like this video, share and subscribe, and also follow me on Instagram, Lennox Kabaya. I'll be so much grateful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.